Hello everyone, I am Aniket Dattatreya Takle. Today I am telling about lymphatic system. So let's start. Nearly 20 liters of blood plasma are filtered through capillaries daily to bathe and nourish the body's cells. The lymphatic system processes almost 20% of this fluid, which sips from capillaries and cells. This tissue fluid travels primarily through the veins and returns to the heart. In that, there are 400 to 800 lymph nodes in the body, and they constantly check and filter the lymph to eliminate pathogens, waste, and toxins. In that, we are discuss about lymphatic system. So lymphatic system is nothing but the complex network of tubes, tissues, and organs that is part of the circulatory system in the vertebrate body. The lymphatic system removes extra fluid and waste from tissues and deposits them in the bloodstream to support the body's fluid balance. It also provides the body with disease fighting lymphocytes which help in the body's defense against infection. So in that, the lymphatic system comprises lymph nodes, open-ended vessels, and organs like the tonsils, spleen, and thymus. The lymphatic system causes the lymph to move only in the direction of heart. So in that, the best defense mechanism in the human body is the immune system. It protects us from harmful microorganisms and keeps us healthy. So next part is the discuss about anatomy of lymphatic system. In that anatomy of lymphatic system, the extra fluid that leaks from cells and tissues is gathered together in lymph, also known as lymphatic fluid. White blood cells, which are also known as lymphocytes, that are lymph transport combat infection. So in that, the bean shaped glands called lymph nodes regulate and cleanse the lymph as it filters through there. They remove the cancerous and damaged cells by filtration. In that also, the thymus gland, a lymphatic and endocrine gland, is located behind the sternum. It secretes hormones and is essential for immunological T cell development, maturation, and differentiation. In that also, the tonsils generate lymphocytes and antibodies. They can provide defense against ingested and inhaled foreign particles. In that, although it is lymphoid tissue, the spleen is not a component of the connected lymphatic system. It produces white blood cells and filters blood to eliminate pathogens, damage red blood cells and platelets. In that also, although bone marrow is not a lymphatic tissue, it is a part of the lymphatic system because this is where the immune system B cells are developed. So next point is composition and function of lymph. In that, one question is arise in your mind. What is meant by lymph? Lymph is nothing but the colorless fluid that circulates throughout the lymphatic system. The main role of the lymphatic system is to act as a filter against microbes, organic wastes, toxins, and other debris. It carries lymphocytes throughout the body that fight against infections. In that also, in animals and human beings, extracellular fluid, that means fluid outside the cell, is divided into the interstitial fluid, that means the fluid which exists between the tissues, and plasma. It consists of small water soluble substances which flow in between the tissue cells. Both plasma and interstitial fluid are similar due to the continuous exchange of small solutes, water, and ions across the capillary walls of the tissues. The functions of interstitial fluid are it is used to transport nutrients to the cells. Also, it enables intercellular communication between the cells. It also removes the metabolic waste from the cells. In that also, the interstitial fluid is collected by the lymphatic system and the rest is drained out. The drained fluid moves back to the blood vessels and the remaining fluid is collected through the lymph capillaries, which is also known as the lymphatic capillaries. So next point is composition of lymph. In that, the lymphatic system comprises lymph plasma, lymph corpuscles, and lymphoid organs. The composition of lymph is given below. In that, lymph plasma is the interstitial fluid. It has similar mineral content as in plasma. It consists of less calcium, few blood proteins, less phosphorus, and high glucose concentration. In that also, globulin proteins, which are actual antibodies, are found in lymph plasma. Other substances include organic and inorganic substances. The exchange of nutrients and gases between the blood and cells of tissues occurs through the lymph. Next is the second point is lymph corpuscles. In that the comprises leukocytes and amoeboid cells. It contains specialized lymphocytes that are involved in eliciting immune responses in the human body. Third one is lymphoid organs. In that, the lymphoid system consists of numerous lymph nodes deep inside the body. These lymph nodes are connected to the lymphatic vessels which circulate the lymph throughout the body. In that, the lymph gas filtered at the lymph nodes. That also the spleen, tonsils, adenoids, the thymus all form a part of the lymphatic system. The spleen is considered the largest lymphatic organ in the system, which is located under the rib cage above the stomach and exactly in the left upper quadrant of the abdomen. Other parts of lymphatic system is tonsils, adenoids, and thymus are located on either side of the throat and neck. Other components of lymph in humans like carbohydrates, lymphocytes, creatinine, water is 94%, urea, chlorides, enzymes, proteins like albumin, globulin, and fibrinogen, and that also not non-protein proteinous substances. Then next point is formation of lymph. In that, because lymph capillaries are permeable, lymph is formed from interstitial fluid. When blood flows through blood capillaries in the tissue, 9 upon 10 of the fluid flows into the venous end of the capillaries from the arterial end. In that, the remaining 1/10 of the fluid then enters lymph capillaries, which are more permeable than blood capillaries. As a result, when lymph passes through lymph capillaries, its composition, including protein content, is more or less similar to that of interstitial fluid. Because of their large size, proteins found in the interstitial fluid cannot enter blood capillaries. These proteins enter lymph vessels, which are permeable to large particles. That also proteins and fats. In that, more protein and lipid substances are found in tissue fluid from the liver and gastrointestinal tract. As a result, large amounts of proteins and lipids enter the lymph vessels of the liver and gastrointestinal tract. As a result, lymph in larger vessels contains more proteins and lipids. Next point is function of lymph. In that, lymph performs many important functions like it keeps the body cells moist. It transports oxygen, hormones, and nutrients to different parts of the body and removes metabolic waste from the cells. It transports antibodies and lymphocytes to the blood. It also maintains the composition of tissue fluid and the volume of the blood. That also function as a absorption of fats from the small intestine occurs through lymphatic vessels. That also prevents invasion of microbes and foreign substances inside the lymph nodes. That's all about lymphatic system in human body. Thank you.